I went to YouTube Shorts to test it, and it's already 50-50 like to dislike for the clip of you rating the Gen 3 games as mid. Holy fuck, bro. It's like rage bait works on the internet, but the thing is, I'm not even trying to rage bait. Them Hoenn games got too much water. That's a valid criticism. Because look, when you're on water, it's the tall grass all over. And it's like people glorify like the water sections of the game because they give you a sense of exploration. But it's like I'm not gonna lie, the older Pokemon games and their sense of exploration weren't really that good because you were always getting interrupted by a damn Zubat or a Tentacruel wherever you was going. Nigga trying to be IGN. See, look, the criticism was valid. I don't care. I don't care what y'all say. The criticism was valid. Y'all just started mocking it. Y'all like too much water and too much water, and y'all didn't engage with what they said. I don't fuck with Hoenn like that. And I'm not gonna lie, the roster is mid. The roster is mid. It's like Hoenn, okay, you got the best starters in all of Pokemon. I'll give y'all that. But besides that, what other Pokemon do y'all have in that region? What do you think what do you think repels are for? Yeah, but the thing is, like, I don't want to buy repels. Well, I do, but it's like it's still annoying. And then once the repel is off, you gotta go all the way back into your bag and then put another one in. That shit's still annoying, bro. Like, come on, Arbok. Like, come on, Arbok. Like, come on. Winds and Waves has a lot of water. See, it's different on the Switch too, though. It's different on the Switch too because the way that Pokemon encounters work on the Switch is way different than how they used to work in the old games. Because the Pokemon encounters, they interrupted you with a Pokemon fight in order for you to even see what type of Pokemon it is. But on the Switch, the Pokemon are out in the overworld, so you can just move around them. That's it. So it's like if they do the underwater sections in Winds and Waves, it'll be a little bit different because you saw in the trailer the Pokemon were just out in the overworld. So it's like, okay, if I want to go into the water, I can explore and just avoid the Pokemon. Alola had way more water, but it did a better job at it. Yeah, because Hoenn like weren't like half the routes just water. Alola, it was like they had like different sections of the region and like water just surrounded them, and there wasn't that much water. Like there wasn't that much water that you would go into. And it's like the thing is, I think Game Freak understood the too much water criticism because we stopped having like water heavy regions in the next regions, bro. Yeah, just because you could backtrack in Hoenn, I don't think that makes it that good, bro. I think Hoenn is so highly regarded because it's better than Gen 1 and Gen 2. And the thing is, Gen 1 and Gen 2 were on the Game Boy, and it's like they were, of course, they were going to be. Like I feel like Hoenn was the first game where they were actually good. I feel like Hoenn were like the first games that were actually like kind of like playable, that didn't have like any jarring problem. Well, too much water is a problem, but it's like didn't have any like jarring problems like level curve and like just dumb shit that Gen 1 had. You know, they even acknowledged the too much water criticism in Sun and Moon. See, it's like Game Freak understood it. Like Game Freak, the people that designed the games, like understood what IGN was talking about. It's just a butthurt fanboy. I'm not gonna lie. Once I get this gaming channel off the ground, I'm gonna start an agenda against Gen 3 niggas, bro. I'm starting an agenda against Gen 3 niggas, bro. Y'all got a worse version of Gen 4, and y'all think Gen 3 is the best Pokemon games of all time, bro. Y'all think Ruby and Sapphire and Emerald are better than Diamond and Pearl and Black and White? No. Video essay on Hoenn would go good. Yes, I'm starting the agenda, bro. Because people shit on Gen 1 lovers, but we gotta shit on Gen 3 lovers, bro. They've been flying under the radar, bro. Even Gen 5 lovers get hate. We need to start an agenda against the Gen 3 lovers, bro. We do. We do. Like really, what the fuck did that generation have? I don't think that generation did anything great. They did a lot of things good, but they didn't do anything great. Nintendo did joke about too much water on Twitter. Yeah, but that's like a random guy on Twitter. That's a random guy on Twitter. That nigga did not actually make the games, bro. That motherfucker just types on Twitter. That's it. Gen 2 and Gen 9 is the worst. Yeah, Gen 2 and Gen 9 are the worst Pokemon gens. And then you probably like get Gen 1 and then Gen 6. And then it's like Gen 3. Well, Gen 8's also kind of mid. But Gen 7, Gen 5, Gen 4, those generations are probably like the best. People hate on Gen 7 because it has like a tutorial and shit like that, but I feel like Gen 7's overhated. I like Gen 8. Gen 8 is overhated. The routes were so linear in that region. The starters were so ass. The story was butt. Like, not gonna lie, your whole agenda is working on me. I used to have Gen 3 in the top 3. It's like, what did Gen 3 do great? Their champion, Gen 4 has a better one. Their Pokemon roster, Gen 4, I say Gen 5, Gen 6, Gen 7, Gen 8. They all have better Pokemon rosters. Um, like, what else? What did they have? It's like if you want to do it on difficulty, I feel like Gen 1's harder. My first Pokemon was Gen 4. Diamond and Pearl are bad games though. It's innovative though. It introduced abilities. Okay, I'll give it that. We gonna talk about that special physical split. We gonna talk about that? No. Gen 3 did abilities and weather and natures. I think. Yeah, that's cool. But like Gen 5 had rotational battles. No one gave a fuck about that. But nah, Gen 4 introduced the physical special split. Like, come on, bro. I miss rotational battles. You missed that shit. Y'all remember when Gen 6 added sky battles? Y'all remember when Gen 6 added sky battles and it acted like that shit was innovative, bro? Y'all remember that? Yo, that shit was so crazy, bro. Sky battles was too much fall back on all that. I do not remember. Bro, I remember the hype train. I feel like Gen 6 had the best hype train. I'm probably saying that because I was a kid around the time. But that Gen 6 hype train, when they revealed Mewtwo Wah, they revealed Sylveon, and then, nigga, they had a showcase on Sky Battles. Nigga, you just changed the scenery behind and made it to where I could only use flying types. What? How did Sky Battles work? Oh yeah, I'm Unk. Motherfucker forgot all about the Sky Battles, bro. The most innovative thing that Pokemon's ever done. And Pokemon with Levitate, yeah. I don't know. Like, y'all had Megas, bro. Y'all had Megas. I'm not gonna lie. Gigantamax is the dumbest shit of all time. That's why I can never really, like, put Gen 8 up there. Because them Gigantamax shit. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I'll listen to you. I'll listen to you if you got an argument on why Gen 8 is better than Gen 3. I'll listen to you. I'll listen to you if you got an argument. But them Gigantamax forms and shit like that, that was the dumbest shit of all time. I'm like, just bring back Megas. Because y'all want to do it so bad. Y'all just have Megas to where they have a cooler or some shit like that. Because they wanted to bring it back so bad, but it was like, it was so OP. 8 is greater than 3. I'm not going to lie. I'll have to play back through both the games again, but I might just start that agenda. I might just. We done with the 90s. Gen 3 is overrated as fuck. We're done with the 90s, bro. I don't care. We've let our Pokemon community be co-opted by a bunch of 30-year-olds that missed their childhoods, and they've got away with pointing the finger at the Gen 1ers. But really, it's been the niggas that's been supporting Gen 3 this whole time. We gotta start it, bro. I'm releasing the truth. I feel like there's a big fan base rep for every gen except for Gen 2. I remember there was at one point, I think it was like 2015, Gen 2 got a lot of love. And I'm not going to lie, it's because of Heart Gold and Soul Silver. And the people that love Gen 2 would always say that it had the best post-game, but negate the fact that they completely fucked up the gen that they were in just for those post-games, bro. Like, you couldn't get Houndoom in Johto. You had to go back to Kanto. I think half of Gen 1ers love Gen 2. Yeah. What's y'all's favorite gen? Gen 7? I'm not gonna lie, I didn't like Gen 7 at the time. I might need to go back and rank these games again. Because I did say that Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon were like A-tier games. I did say that, right? My favorite gen is Gen 5. And they say, oh, you only like the generation that you first played. But it's like, come on, bro. Like, can I not like Gen 5? Like, nigga, that shit like was the best generation. It's like, bro, y'all know this. Come on. I only played 2 and 5. That's a weird ass way to do it. The game that I played first was Diamond, and I don't like that shit. It's like for me, the first games that I had was I had Gen 5, and then I went back to Diamond and Pearl. But the thing is, I know Diamond and Pearl are like trash games. But I'm not gonna lie, when Gen 10 comes out and it actually has good graphics and shit like that, it's gonna blow all the other games out the water, bro. I feel like when Gen 10 drops, is going to make Gen 3 look so much worse. It's going to make all the older games look so much worse. Oh, Soul Silver and Black? Nah, but I feel like when Gen 10 drops and it's like we actually get a good Pokemon game, like a great Pokemon game that has like overworld Pokemon and all that shit, I feel like it's going to make the older Pokemon games look worse, bro. It's like, oh my god, I had to do repels. I had to fucking grind to get my Pokemon up to a certain level and shit like that. It's like all the little shit that they did to make the playthrough a little bit easier, but not like in a not in a way to where the battles are easier, but like in a way to where it's like just more convenient, bro. What Gen 10 Pokemon are you picking? I'm Team Bonbon right now. Brout's growing on me. The Brout agenda worked, but yeah, I'm Team Bonbon right now. I think that nigga's gonna be a Fire Fairy. That's gonna be so hard. If he's a Fire Fairy, bro, that shit's gonna be the hardest thing ever. So yeah, I'm picking Bonbon. The fuck? You mean to tell me I can get a Fire Fairy type? Bonbon could be the first ever Fire Fairy too. I'm choosing Brout, but if Bonbon is Fire Fairy, I'm tapping in. I thought you said I was tapping that. I'm like, don't fuck the dog.